Hi, I'm Officer Morgan with the Allen County Sheriff's Department, and today I get the opportunity to sit down with Officer Zachary Filipiak and talk about our experience. We both started at the jail together. We got sworn on within a couple of months apart from each other, and we're both proud graduates of the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy that we actually had the opportunity to go through together. So, Officer Filipiak, we're going to start off with some questions.
All right, let's do it.
Can you walk us through your journey with the Sheriff's Department, how you started off as a confinement officer and then became a police officer?
Yeah, so I started at the jail in 2021. While working at the jail, I applied for the sworn police officer position. So while working at the jail and learning that job, and the beginning phases of kind of law enforcement happens at the jail, I was already in the process to become a police officer. So I'm working a good job with good pay while I'm going after my ultimate career.
Absolutely.
So that felt pretty good to do. And then after about 2 years working at the jail, I got sworn on as a police officer.
Okay, awesome. As a veteran, how did your military background help prepare you for your role on our department?
I think the military helps you to understand like command structure, how to utilize command structure. It teaches you, about the disciplines of this job that correlate with the military. I mean, military and law enforcement are similar in a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways that the military prepares you for law enforcement, but being in leadership roles, things like that, just there's a lot of things that prepare you for law enforcement that you can get out of the military.
Thank you for that insight. Being a veteran, what kind of benefits are available to newly hired police officers?
One of the best benefits to me, you get the GI Bill benefits your entire first year of employment. It's not just during the police academy, which is roughly 4 to 5 months long, but you get it for the whole first year while you're a probationary officer with the Allen County Police Department. So that entitles you to housing allowance and other kind of allowances that, can benefit you financially and make sure you're set up for success.
Okay. One of the things I didn't realize being a county police officer was all the county calls that you would have to take. I grew up in the inner city of Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and so did I.
So I'm not very familiar with a whole lot of animals, but in my short time in patrol, I've had to wrestle a bull. I've had to get a couple horses out of fields, and I am not an animal person at all.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Can you just expound on what an average day of an Allen County police officer looks like?
It really depends on what area you're in. We have some more rural areas and we have some more urban areas where we patrol. I patrol an urban area, so my calls range from people problems, meaning people having issues, to car accidents, to welfare checks, and you name it, I go to it. Not a lot of animal stuff for me though. But if you find yourself in the more southern districts, you're definitely going to be dealing with horses, horses getting out, wrestling bulls, you get a wide variety of calls because the county's so large.
Absolutely.
And there's so many different areas.
Absolutely. One of the largest counties in Indiana.
This is the largest by land, largest in Indiana.
Wow.
Second by population.
Absolutely. There are some questions about officers working the civil division before patrol. Can you explain this process and what you personally gained from working in the civil division?
Yeah, I enjoyed working in the civil division. I mean, come on, it's Monday through Friday, weekends and holidays off, so you get to spend your weekends during the summer at the lake. You don't get that in law enforcement. Most of the time you're working a rotating schedule and you're working weekends all the time. Not only that, but you get to look at how jury trials work. You get to work at how initial hearings work, suppression hearings, which is huge for officers. You can see where officers are making mistakes in the streets and getting torn apart in court, and you can learn a lot from that.
Yeah. The one thing that I really appreciated while working in the civil division was the opportunity to get to know the judges and prosecutors.
Yep.
You get to build personal relationships with them.
100%. And I've called the prosecutors since being on the street, and they remember me. Hey, Zach, what's up, man? I haven't talked to you in a minute.
Absolutely.
100%.
So that's a benefit that most police departments don't get the privilege to do, where when you come and work for a sheriff's department, you get to see the background scoop and get an understanding.
And two, while you're in the civil division, there's opportunities to ride with patrol, ride with warrants.
Absolutely.
You're not just going to be
do
evictions, work jury trials. It's all interesting, and it's all makes you a more well-rounded officer.
Absolutely. And those experiences have helped both you and I while in patrol. For example, if we had to arrest someone, we kind of know how the inward workings of the court process goes, and so that's helped de-escalate situations. Everybody wants to know when they're going to jail. When am I going to go to court? Well, if it's felony, you're going to go to court on this day. If it's a misdemeanor, you're going to go to court on this day.
Yep.
Sorry, if it's a weekend, you may have to wait a couple of days.
Yep.
Can you share a call where you felt like you made a difference?
I don't I don't think there's a specific call where I've made a difference. I know I've made difference on calls just with how I've been able to talk to people and how I've been able to relate with people. But to be honest, I don't really have a specific call where I felt like I made a huge difference.
Okay.
It's all just part of the job and on to the next call.
As someone who's a member of the SWAT team, as someone who likes to do interdiction work, who likes to be pretty proactive, I believe that you make a huge difference in our community and help make our community safe. So thank you for what you do.
No, I appreciate that.
Can you talk about some of the different opportunities and divisions we have? We have so many different divisions.
Yep.
Warrants, patrol, civil. You can be a school resource officer. We have bike patrol. We have so many different divisions that you can work for and so many opportunities to grow. So can you just talk about that briefly?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. Answered your own question. I mean, SRO, bike patrol, SWAT. We have drone operators, fatal crash technicians,
Absolutely.
canine. We have
Crime
one of our
scene.
canines here.
Yep.
Crime scene technicians, detectives. I mean, there's so many different career paths you can potentially take in this department, and it's not. You don't have to wait 5, 6, 10 years
Right.
to get on these positions.
Right.
I'm a relatively newer officer, and I'm on a specialty assignment. You're a relatively newer officer. You're on a specialty assignment.
Absolutely.
So they're
Absolutely.
available, and if you're hungry and you want to get them, you can get them.
So just to clear it up, this leads right into our next question. Would a newly hired officer have the opportunity to join specialty teams like the SWAT team? How new? What does that process look like? Can you try out for these things in your first year? What does that process look like?
So I can't speak for all the divisions, but for the SWAT team, you have to have 1 year in service.
Okay.
And
So
then
that's 1 year in civil. That counts.
Yeah, you're 1 year in civil counts. That's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it just has to be 1 year from your swear-on date, and
Okay.
I'm assuming most of the positions are probably similar to that.
Absolutely. A lot of potential applicants have asked about tattoos. Are they allowed? Are they not allowed? What's the department's stance? I see you have a couple of tattoos yourself. So can you just talk about that? A number of members in the community that have been considering applying wants to know what the sheriff's department's stance is on that.
So the stance is pretty simple. No tattoos can be displayed while you're in uniform on your neck or your face, and your tattoos that are displayed can't be offensive.
Okay.
It's pretty cut and dry.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yep.
Is there something that you haven't achieved that you're still working towards in your career?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot. I want to increase in rank someday. I want to be a supervisor someday. I wouldn't mind being a sniper someday.
Okay.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
All right. Well, that's our time. Thank you, Officer Filipiak, for your time and your insight. Hopefully that answers some questions to potential applicants. We are accepting applications for the position of sworn police officer until October 22nd, so you can apply right here at this website. Thank you for your time.